Natanggal daw. All right, all set? Okay. Uh, Again, good morning to our media friends. We are pleased to inform you that our press conference will now start. We have our resource speakers today from the National Historical Commission of the Philippines Chairman and National Quincentennial Committee Vice Chairman Dr. Rene Escalante. We have the coach of Miss Universe, Catriona Gray, and the designer of the famous national costume she wore during the pageant, Architect Carlos Buendia Jr., and of course, our historian and professor, Mr. Xiao. As we formulate the questions for today, we would like to first acknowledge the presence of the following media organizations. For the private media, we have ABS-CBN, Business Mirror, GMA7, TV5 News, CNN Philippines, Net25, Radyo Veritas. We have the Daily Manila Shimbun, SBC TV 22, Rappler. And for the government media, we have the Philippine Information Agency, Radio TV Malacanang, the Philippine News Agency, and the PTV4. In the interest of time, may we request all our media partners to limit your questions to just one main question and one follow-up question. Our resource speakers and other guests of honor will be available after the press conference if you need to have an in-depth interview or a follow-up interview after the press conference. So let's start. For those who will be asking their questions, please proceed to the microphone held by Ms. Joni Bay Bolivar. And please indicate your name, your organization, and the person you want to ask. Thank you. So the floor is now open for questions. For the first question, yes?
Hi, I'm Amanda from Rappler. This question is for Mr. Buendia. How exactly did you help Catriona prepare to wear this very heavy costume? Like, what did she have to go through? Special physical training?
Actually, I think I have to go back to the origins of how we did come up with the idea. I did mention to our media earlier that during our discussions way back June 2018, I listed down all of the provinces of the Philippines and noted all of the cultural strengths of each province. And then from then on, she immediately chose the parol, the pintados, and of course the fabrics from Mindanao. And I told her na mabigat yung parol ha. Please take note because of course magkakaroon po siya ng lights and everything with all the mechanism. And she would just gladly say yes kasi wala siyang concerns about yung difficulty, but her concern is on how to showcase the culture. And then when the parol was finished, we tried, una may harness muna siya on her shoulders. It's really heavy, it's 50 kilos. So, but then, very short yung runway, only for 30 seconds sila allowed mag-walk once na-announce yung Philippines. So, trinay, and then we have decided na to put on wheels na lang para at least easier. But then, as you can see nga po sa video, the flooring, to our surprise, is carpeted. That's why may difficulty pa rin kahit may gulong.
So she had to
pull it. Yes, kaya po may nylon, kayo makikita na medyo invisible on screen but may nylon para mas mapupull niya on stage. So it's really heavy but then kinaya naman daw niya.
Hindi siya nagka-issues because of her, di ba she has daw scoliosis?
Well, maybe that's one of our considerations then. But then she didn't look at her scoliosis as a major consideration. It's really on how to showcase. That's why noong una naawa din ako, but believe din ako na she would love to do it for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rappler. Next question, please.
Samuel Medanilla from Business Mirror. Ay, itatanong ko lang po kung magkano po yung budget na nire-request po ng NHF tungkol para po doon sa mismong event for the entire event.
Honestly, at this point, we haven't touched that question because our plan is once we have the approval of the President, that's the time that we will finalize the activities and then, of course, the budgetary considerations. We have a task force who will take care of this to be headed by the Undersecretary of Department of Budget and Management, Yusek Agnes Bailen. We also have in the EO that we are allowed to accept donations. So we will also talk to some business groups. In fact, I met already the head of the Cebu Business Chambers, and they told me that they are just a phone call away. So just in case we need help, then we are always there. They are always there to help us. So at this point, we haven't decided yet as to the exact amount. The big consideration really here is the park. For the commemorations, now, for the papal visit, assuming that it will push through, we have already some historical figures, and we still have to go back to it. Yeah. At this point, I don't want to give exact figures. But for me, it will be the park. Because just to clear it, there's a proposal to come up with the underground museum. So we have the Lapu-Lapu statue, and then down under, we'll have an underground museum, and then we have to come up with a grandstand with all the lighting. So that's a really big ticket project that we will just pass by to either the DPWH or other agencies in charge of this.
All right. Thank you, Business Mirror. Next question.
Sir Lee.
Good morning. My question is to Dr. Escalante. I'm Edward Tan of SBC TV22. Sir, alam ho natin ngayon, ang mga kabataan ay wala na. Puro Facebook na ang inatupag. Gayon din ho sa ating eskwelahan, parang wala na rin ho. Sir, paano ho nyo magagawa na mabigay ang tamang impormasyon, dissemination sa atin ho mga kabataan ngayon na parang nakalimutan na nang ho natin sila Lapu-Lapu, na talaga sila ho naging dahilan kung bakit meron ho tayong demokrasya ngayon sa ating bansa. E naalala na lang ho natin ang Lapu-Lapu ngayon sa restaurant ng mga Chinese.
Thank you. I mentioned earlier in my presentation that originally DepEd and PIA were not part of the steering committee. But after 3 months of meetings, we have decided that we need the support of DepEd and the Philippine Information Agency and even the PCOO, precisely for this purpose. And then we also came up with a website wherein in this website, we will have some featured articles. We will have some what's this, yung mga animation? Infographics. Just to reach out those who are into social media. Para po itong mga activity nito, itong mga new findings namin, ay may disseminate sa mas maraming tao. Well, I failed to mention earlier that we are collecting all the primary documents about 1521. At present, there are 4 existing manuscripts related to the one written by Pigafetta. One is in Milan, the Ambrosiana Library. The other one is the 2 other manuscripts are in the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris. And the last one is in Yale University. And we wrote them already, and they committed that they will provide us with an authenticated digital copy of all these manuscripts. Now, in our second floor, I allotted a room exclusively for 1521 documents. And we are continuously gathering all existing documents related to this event. And then I will ask my staff to digitize this, and we will make them available in the 23 museums that we are maintaining. So that if ever there are serious scholars who wants to do serious research, they need not go to Manila because, with the traffic and then the cost involved, they can just visit our museums because there they will find the digital copy of these primary materials, just to promote historical research and greater awareness of this event. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the very passionate question.
Sir, can I have my follow-up questions?
Question?
Sir, sa ngayon, paano nyo ho naman masasabi sa ating mga kababayan na ang gulo-gulo na ng Pilipinas? Baka pwede nyo hong masabi sa ating kababayan kung ano hong ginawa ni Lapu-Lapu na kalayaan tinatamasa natin ngayon, lalo na sa ating mga government officials sapagkat sila nagbabakbakan doon.
Well, of course, these are some of the considerations that I am handling on a day-to-day basis, particularly when we are discussing the first mass controversy. And then, there are also some territorial issues. For instance, I earlier mentioned that the renaming was a big issue because Lapu-Lapu City wants only Lapu-Lapu International Airport without Cebu because it's been a practice of many of our airports. For instance, Manila is just Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Even abroad, in Paris, we have Charles de Gaulle, and then in New York, we have the John F. Kennedy, and in India, we have the Indira Gandhi Airport. Wala pong binabanggit na lugar. But I received a resolution signed by 7 congressmen from Cebu. The only one who did not sign, of course, the daughter of the mayor of Lapu-Lapu City, requesting NHCP to add Cebu. I repeat, the ball now is in the hands of the President.
All right. Thank you so much. Next question, please.
Hi, I'm Joyce Ilaspo from CNN Philippines. To Dr. Escalante, the costume will be available for public viewing, right? Sir, ano po ang mga guidelines para po sa mga kababayan natin na gusto pong makita yung national costume?
Actually, to be honest with you, we haven't formulated the guidelines. But I'm talking to Carlos, and then I told him, hanggang kailan nyo ba ito sa amin pagkakatiwala? Mukhang maging sila, wala rin po silang malinaw pang plano. So for the meantime, this will be under custody. So right after this occasion, I will ask my staff, transfer this downstairs so that people can view it 360. Ngayon po kasi hindi makita yung likod. And then we will add some write-ups. Ipapaliwanag namin, ano ba itong bakit ba may itong pintados na ito? Ano ba itong nasa ulo niya? Ano ba itong nasa baywang niya? Ano ba itong... Dahil lahat po yan ay may simbolismo. Kung nyo pa yung nag-research sa internet, pati na rin po yung likod. Nang sa ganun, yung awareness po, yung tinatanong kanina, yung awareness po ay lalabas. And I think media practitioners can also help us explain the costume. So, if ever the CAT team will allow us to have this in longer time, we are also proposing to have it displayed in our other museums, particularly the big ones, so that our kababayan outside Manila can also access this museum. So our next probably stop will be in Kawit, Cavite, where we have the Aguinaldo Shrine. Then we can also another one in Barazuin, where we have the Museum of Political History, and also in Pampanga, we have the Pamintuan Mansion there. We have 23 museums. So, of course, not all of them can accommodate because some of them are relatively small. They don't have enough vacant space. So, ito po yung plano. And we will post it in our website kung nasa na po ito. But it all depends on until when they will entrust this costume to us. Salamat.
Sir, so ngayon po, pwede nang puntahan nito. At saka hanggang anong oras, sir, po bukas ang NHCP para sa mga gusto
At this
dumalaw?
point po kasi, meron po kaming family activity this afternoon, so it will be an exclusive affair for NHCP members. Well, I think the best time to view this is during the Rizal Day celebration because we have an affair there. And then we will put it down in our ground floor. Yung pagpasok nyo po ng lobby, we have this is an exhibit area. So, no. I don't think we can make it. Yeah, that would be the best estimate.
All right. Thank you, CNN Philippines. Next question, please.
Hi, good morning. Ako po si Laila from News 5. Una munang question para kay Professor Xiao Chua. Bilang historiador, gaano po kayo ka-proud na ito yung national costume ni Catriona?
Maging ako ay nabigla. Kasi I think September 26, if I'm not mistaken, this year, si Sir Carlos ay kinontak ako to give Catriona a lecture on Philippine history. Now, of course, the usual thing to do is to say, this is what happened chronologically. But this is not what we did, okay? What I did was to show that when we talk about Philippine history, it's not a monolithic history. Meaning, hindi mo siya pwedeng ilinear. Mas magandang pag-usapan yung Philippine history when we talk about culture. So, sasabihin mo, problem of nationhood. Paano mo i-represent ang Pilipinas? Multi-ethnic, multicultural, multilingual. Usually, kapag ka ikaw ay beauty queen, pagka national costume, laging butterfly sleeves lang yan. Magagalit yung mga Bisaya. Sasabihin lang, Tagalog lang yung mga nire-represent nyo dyan. So, sabi, doon sa hindi ko alam. Actually, hindi ko alam kung ba't ako pinatawag. So, parang, bakit ako magle-lecture ng Philippine history sa kanya? Hindi naman tinatanong yun sa beauty contest, lalo na't international. So pinakita ko ngayon na may Austronesian culture tayo, bago dumating ang Kastila, na ito, bagamat iba-iba yung wika at kultura natin, may isa tayong base culture, na may manungguljar, mga balanghay. So makikita mo, bangka yung main, tubig yung ating main, tapos may mga pintados ka. Diba? Na anting-anting yan kaluluwa, nasa tubig, pero pinoprotektahan ng ginto. So, may mga ginto, supposedly. Tapos mga, ornaments ng mga ninuno natin, no? Base yan, Tapos yung damit sa panyitaas, nandyan yung pintados, Itong sun na to, medyo, actually sabi nila bulaklak, pero kung titingnan, sabi ng ibang experts, sun ito And that represents God, yung bathala natin nung unang panahon. So, anting-anting siya na ginawang tattoo ng mga mandirigma. So, nagpapakita nung lakas ng loob, na ikinonekta ni Catriona sa Yolanda. Kasi yung mga Bisaya, malakas ang loob, warrior society, hindi natinag sa Yolanda. So, ang ganda nun. So, nakita natin na after some time, sasakupin tayo ng Espanyol, pero bubuuin ulit tayo ng mga bayani natin. So, nandyan kaya yung makikita nyo yung actually, na-shock nga ako. Sabi ko, ay, ang ganda ng costume. Hindi ako nakatulog nung nakita ko yung costume. Di talaga, pinuyat nyo ako noon. Pero, ang ganda kasi, yung baybayin sa paligid, di ba? Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, alab ng puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay, hanggang sa dagat at bundok sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw. Which means you have the natural wonders are there. You have the festivals, diba? Religion, yung painting sa likod, lahat, and then yung heroes. You have the heroes. You have Lapu-Lapu, you have Rizal, you have women heroes, Tandang Sora, Gabriela Silang, kasi you're representing women in society. So, anong nangyari? Nung pinapanood yon ni Ian Alfonso na secretariat ng ating Quincentennial, sinabihan ako, sabihan mo si Carlos na gusto naming hiramin ang costume. Why? Because it squares with the theme of the Quincentennial, which is 500 years of valor and victory. So basically, yun yung... Kaya kung as a historian, anong masasabi ko? Siyempre, aliit lang naman contribution ko dun sa kay Catriona. Kasi ang galing kasi, alam na nila yung gagawin nila Pero they were inspired to study more. And there's where you see, I like to describe Catriona. Kasi yung ibang beauty queen, syempre yung present yung kanilang concern. Ito, intellectually curious. Kakaiba siya sa ibang mga beauties na nakausap ko. Kasi alam niya yung pintados, kaya pala tinatanong niya kasi yun pala yung bubuhatin niya. So, yung mga ganyan. So, parang wow, ang galing naman ng babaeng ito. So, sabi ko, parang Gemma Cruz Araneta levels. Our first international beauty queen was a cultural heritage worker. And I think this is the trajectory that's happening. Oo. So, lastly, sasabihin ko, sinabi ko sa kanila, ba't niyo ako pinatawag dito? Hindi naman niyo kailangan to sa beauty pageant. And then, Catriona said, when I go on stage in Thailand, I just don't want to wear the sash that says Philippines. I want to carry with it the triumphs, tragedies, and most of all, the greatness of the Filipino people. I did not know to what extent she was going to do it. Literal. No? So, yun. So, I'm very proud. And I hope that this will stir conversations around the country for people who are going to view it. This is not just a beauty pageant artifact, but it's an artifact that would let us celebrate hindi 500 years lang ng Magellan expedition, which is a victory for the world, but also to showcase that when Magellan arrived here, we have this kind of culture. We have this kind of history that is a continuing history up to today. Thank you.
Sir Escalante, would you like to add to what Sir Xiao said?
Yeah. Let's talk about the pintados. I think, I don't know if you are aware that the word Las Islas Filipinas was not given by the Lapu-Lapu, by the Magellan expedition. It was given by the Villalobos expedition, the fourth expeditions. Yung pong dalawang pangalan na binigay ng Magellan expedition, dalawa po, yung Archipelago de San Lazaro. Dahil po nung makita nila yung first island natin, kapistahan ni San Lazaro. Nung makita naman nila yung mga Pilipino na kargado ng tato, tinawag naman nila ang ating bayan Las Islas de los Pintados. So, konektado po dito yung ating pagdiriwang ng Quincentennial. Ito rin po nagtulak sa akin na pag-interesan. At yung pag-uwi po dito ng costume na ito ay hindi po biro-biro.
Yes, sabi nga.
Last hour po, nung mag-book kami, wala na pong flight. Wala na pong vacant seat ang PAL. So I have to thank really in public President Jimmy Bautista, who personally granted my request and asked his people. And then I also coordinated this with the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok. Kasi ang sabi po nila, pauwi na si Miss Kat at baka maiwan ito doon sa Dusit Tani Hotel. Baka kung anong mangyari, kaya agapan nyo na. So, marami rin po akong schedule, but I have to shelve all my appointments and I took together with Mr. Ian Alfonso. Sabi ko, tayo ang pupunta. Pagdating po namin doon, we have to hire a logistic company. At ito po yung isa pang kritikal. Hindi po nagkasya sa aeroplano yung parol. Kasi po maliit. So I have to call PAL Central Office again. And thanks to PAL, they sent a bigger plane just for this.
Wow.
Naiwan ito. Sabi niya, Chairman, umuwi ka na. Leave it to us. We'll promise you. Makikita niyo ito. I don't know what happened after. But when I arrived here, and then Mr. Alfonso texted me, tulog na po ako, natumunog, Sir, mission accomplished na ako. Hawak na po namin at nasa ko na. So pagdating ko po dito kaninang umaga, nandito na po ito. Ano po ang nangyari? Don't ask me. I don't know. But again, we really have to thank the Philippine Airlines for the help that they extended to us. Just for us to enjoy the beauty of this national costume. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
Alright,
Last
thank you
na
so
po.
much.
For Sir Kaloy, kasi di ba ang ganda ng mga painting, yung mga artisans ba natin, are they experts? Are they students? Pakikwento
Actually,
naman.
yung artists po natin, nung mural natin sa likod, yung mural na inspired by the style of Carlos Botong Francisco, ang ating national artist for painting. Kasi ako po, taga-Angono po ako eh. So kaya doon ako na-inspire. Yung mga gumawa po ng painting ay mga fine arts graduates from the University of Santo Tomas. So kasi po, graduate po ako sa UST College of Architecture. So sina Kim Fababair, si Marina Celerio, and Rene Avila. So fresh graduates po sila. And then, si Kim po kasi, natitrain ko na po sa theater sa UST. And then, nung naisip namin ni Catriona yung idea na magkaroon ng painting sa likod, syempre, gusto ko po mag-showcase ng talent ng kabataan. Kaya sila yung kinuha ko po. So, and then from then on, nag-brainstorm kami. Si Catriona, yun nga po sabi niya, gusto niya is magpakita ng celebration, happiness, yung like, yun nga po pati may nagko-comment pa nga po sa akin, bakit daw yung kamatayan ni Dr. Jose Rizal yung nilagay namin? Ang sabi ko, malaki po nagawa sa atin yan. Ginising tayo nun. So, yun po yung nilagay namin. Even yung manunggol jar, pati po ang bulol ng mga ifugaw, lahat po ng festival yata, pati po yung Pink Mosque ng Mindanao. Sabi ko nga po, kulang pa po yung painting. Kulang pa po yung bilog na yun para kung paano i-showcase yung kagandahan ng bansa natin. Kaya, pwede po kaming gumawa ng 3 pa. Pero, isang buwan po yata, 2 ang ginawa namin dyan kasi sobrang meticuloso po ng mga detalye at ayaw po namin magkamali. Pati po yung araw, Professor, di ba, naalala niyo po, pati po yung ultimo yung araw ng flag na winawagayway ni Presidente Aguinaldo, tinanong po pa po namin kay Professor, may mukha po ba? Kasi nalilito po kami. Ano po yung dapat namin gamitin? So, syempre, alam po namin na somehow, yung general public, in a sense, hindi na po nila tatanungin. Pero ayaw po namin manloko ng tao. May mukha po. Kung ano po yung nasa museum, nung nasa flag, yun po yung nilagay namin. Pati po yung detalye ng pink mosque, talagang dinetalye namin. So, ganun po siya kametikuloso. Saka sulit naman po yung pagod.
Can I add something? Ano? Sorry. Can I add something? Kasi important na ipapalagay nyo to sa Aguinaldo Shrine because next year is the 150th year of Aguinaldo. And then the centerpiece of the painting is 1898 Proclamation of Independence. So, napaka-appropriate din na parang double purpose na hindi lang Quincentennial, pati Aguinaldo at 150 ay damay dito sa costume ni Catriona. So, salamat, Sir Carlos.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Leila from TV5. In the interest of time, maybe we can entertain 1 or 2 questions na lang. Ma'am?
Hi again, Amanda again from Rappler. So, sir, this is for Dr. Escalante. First time po ba na mag-exhibit kayo ng costume from Miss Universe, from a beauty pageant? And why the particular interest in this costume?
I can only speak starting 2010 because that's the year I joined the commission. Probably my career executives can answer that. But as far as I know, mukhang this might be the first time. As regards to your second question, why? I think we've been articulating it. This is really one of a kind. This is really one of a kind. Kasi nga, marami tayong medyang ginagamit to communicate, to share our historical knowledge. And this is one form of media expression. At ang kagandahan po nito, hindi lang Pilipinong audience. Alam naman siguro natin kung ilang bilyon ang nanood ng beauty pageant na ito nung presentation ng national costume. At dito, we really have to thank our Miss Universe na tinulungan talaga ang Historical Commission in promoting Philippine history in its simple yet very effective. At medyo natuwa rin kami dahil after the event, I wrote Miss Kat personally that we are interested with her costume. At hindi siya sumagot. Pinost niya sa kanyang Instagram.
Yes.
So parang, I was in Cebu and then my staff told me, Sir, viral yung sulat nyo. What's the letter? Akala ko yung mga heritage issues na naman. No. So yun po. So after that, yun, kinausap po nga namin yung team kasi hindi na namin ma-access si Miss Kat. So yan, everything now is history. Kapiling na po natin yung costume.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other question? Last question? Do we have any last question or okay na? All right.
Sir, good afternoon po. For Dr. Escalante, since Ms. Catriona Gray is very interested and knowledgeable about the history and culture of the Philippines, possible po ba na magkaroon po siya ng role po dito sa project niyo for not only for the Quincentennial but also to your future project in promoting history of the Philippines po?
Dalawa na po yung imbitasyon na pinadala namin sa kanya. One is for the official turnover sa Bangkok ng kanyang national attire, but at that time, we cannot access that anymore kasi very, very tight na po ang kanyang security. Of course, Mr. Carlos can attest to that. Number 2, meron po kaming pending invitation sa kanya ngayon. Kaya lang, we know that I think he left already for NYC, so hindi na po natin siya kapiling. But I think she is one with us in spirit. So, supportado niya po ito. And in fact, nandito yata yung kanyang nanay. If I'm not mistaken. Hindi na umabot. Okay, so we extended the invitation to the team. And of course, the team now is represented by Carlos Buendia. And we wish she will be around in all our major activities, but subject to her availability, of course. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Any follow-up questions? None? All right. In the interest of time, thank you very much for attending our press conference. And congratulations for the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. Lunch is served at the back. Please enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
Kaya lang, I know.